Welcome to the Good Games Podcast, episode number 164. This is a show where we talk about video games and gamer-related things. My name is Frank from Palm Manso, and I'm your host. And as always, I'm joined by the co-host of the show, Alex Nunez. What's up, sir?
Frank, it's been a long time coming. It finally happened this week.
What's that?
Magikarp Jump got updated.
It did?
It did.
That's unbelievable.
I know, right? It's like, I don't know, I'm guessing this is like the final update or whatever, but finally they have the Elite Four challenge and stuff and other stuff I think that happens in the end game, so I'm going to be playing a whole lot more Magikarp Jump.
Awesome, dude.
Yep.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
That's good. I think you single-handedly contributed to them saying, "Hey, there's someone playing this game. Maybe we should actually update it."
Yeah,
but that's cool. No, that's cool. I'm glad to hear that game is being updated at all.
Yeah.
So
they've been updating it after launch for a good clip, but I don't know how long usually the time frame was before, but this time it felt like it was a long time between updates, and I was like crying. I wanted more Magikarp Jump, more stuff to do, and now I have it.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. I've been losing sleep over...
Have you now?
Yeah.
Why is that?
We'll talk about it later.
Okay.
We'll talk about it later. So I mean, let's get started. Is that okay?
All right. Sure.
All right. So what have you been playing? What have you been up to?
Well, before I start with what I've been playing, I just want to point out that we kind of stumbled into an accidental theme, I guess, around what we've been playing. And apparently that theme is Sega appreciation.
Yeah, big time.
This is completely by accident, but one of the things I've been playing, surprisingly, was some Virtua Fighter 5 Final Showdown.
Awesome.
Yeah, I was some of the fighting game people that I play with. Somebody wanted to play some VF5, and so I was like, "What? Who's people gonna play at VF5? Just tell me where to be and when, and I will be there." And yeah, we had an online lobby going for a couple hours, and yeah, just played a whole bunch of VF5. It was fantastic.
Nice. How'd you do?
That game, I did pretty well. I was actually doing maybe too well.
Oh,
so I had to
okay.
I had to let go of the control a little bit. I was like, all right, you guys play amongst yourself for a little bit, because at a certain point I was just like on top all the time, and I was playing everybody else, and no one got a chance to play each other. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna sit out. Like I think we like rotated stack. So like once, I think it was maybe 4 of us. So once I beat the 3 other guys, then I would like sit out for a round and let them try and battle it out.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I was kind of surprised, because I really only know, like in quotes, know one character in that game. And I don't know, it was just fun and I had never really messed around with any of the other characters until I think like that day. And yeah, it was just a lot of fun, just kind of like poking around and pressing buttons and sort of mashing stuff out with characters and figuring things out, like realizing that certain characters had parries that I never knew had parries. Like Brad has kind of a parry that he does when he sticks out his leg, and I was like, "What? Oh, that's pretty cool." And I'm like stuffing people's attacks when they don't expect it, and I was like, "Oh, man, it was just a lot of fun." That game is it's like it feels so simple because it's only 3 buttons, and then it's also at the same time so complex and deep, and I don't know, man. I'd rather much have Virtua Fighter than Tekken, but that's just a personal preference. But yeah, it's I wish in this new gaming renaissance or fighting game renaissance that we're experiencing right now, I wish that Virtua Fighter had a place at the table, because it is just still so good.
Yeah, it is really a fantastic game, and it's so technical. And I don't know. I mean, honestly, it's probably because it's hard to say, but I would like to see a Virtua Fighter game come out, a Virtua Fighter 6 or something come out.
Yeah.
But I don't know, maybe it just seems like it's not its time anymore. It seems like its time has passed,
Yeah, it felt like it was always a niche thing, which probably didn't do well for in terms of like marketing and just making money overall.
And I mean, you also have like way more popular 3D fighters that aren't as technical, but they're just popular, and just because of that popularity, you don't need like so many on the market. Like Tekken is probably the closest thing to Virtua Fighter, I would think, that's like probably the most popular 3D fighting game. But then you also have like Soul Calibur, which was like the same company with Namco, and that's dead. You know,
kind of, yeah.
So it's about, I think it's just like you said, it's a niche sort of thing, and it's just not its time right now. Maybe it can resurge somewhere in the near future, but not right now. It doesn't seem like it has a place.
Yeah, I think the next best thing we're getting is one of those new Yakuza games is going to have Final Showdown inside of it.
Oh, you can play the game within the game. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like an arcade thing, but it's not a full version. At the very least, I kind of hope that they maybe port it to like PS4 or PC.
Yeah.
That would be great, but I don't think it's in the cards right now.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, but man, yeah, Virtua Fighter is still like looks really good. Like playing on PS3, I was like kind of surprised how well it still holds up graphically. Sound wise, it's actually fucking garbage because I don't know what they did to that version of the game, but all the audio samples sound like they I don't know, they kind of re-encoded everything, or everything's like in a bad like sample rate or some shit. It sounds like it's badly compressed for whatever reason. I'll never understand, but yeah, that game feels real good.
Nice.
Yeah. But other than that, there was a surprise announcement last week that came out before this episode dropped, but after we recorded last week. And I about lost my mind because Rez Infinite Stealth released on PC. It's been out on PS4 for a couple months. I think it came out like October last year. And and I was like, what? This thing, okay. I don't know. They kind of handled it well because it seemed like that same day, or that when they made that announcement, they had I guess sent out press releases or like press copies so that a bunch of different outlets had stuff ready to either say or like videos prepped about Rez Infinite on PC. I was like, holy shit, everybody knew about this except for me. And I was like, oh man. And I don't know, even though I have it on PS4, I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna buy it again on PC because I still haven't played it. And
oh man,
and now I actually, as I was editing the episode last week, I took a break and played some Rez Infinite because that's when it finished downloading, and I couldn't wait any longer, and I finally played some Rez Infinite. And man, it's really good.
Yeah,
I think this is the first time I've played Rez with actual headphones on and try to get as close to like the ideal way to play that game because I know Mizuguchi, the guy who created the game, he's all about like synesthesia and talking about it like it's this crazy concept, but I'm with it. You gotta I played area 1 of this game just to test it out, just like test out settings on my computer or whatever, see how far I could push it or whatever. It's not a very demanding game on PC, but each time I played through area 1, the whole time, like I had goosebumps just playing with the headphones on and being as close to the screen as I was and just being as enveloped as possible. And then I was seriously considering at that moment to get an Oculus Rift because I want to be inside the Rez.
Nice.
I want to be enveloped in the Rez, in the warm embrace of Rez.
Nice.
But I thought better of myself and I was like, nah, I'm not going to do this right now. But I very much look forward to experiencing some Rez in VR because man, I can't even imagine.
It's probably going to change. It's probably going to change your entire outlook on that game, like in a good way,
or my life. Who knows?
Damn, or my life. Goodness. Rez Infinite. So if you don't know, it's basically just the original version of Rez with a new area like attached to it separately. So it's like the first 5 areas that were originally released in the Dreamcast and PS2 game. And I don't know, like Rez, I like Rez a whole lot, but it feels as a game, as something like you go out and buy and pay money for to spend time with. It feels like a very short experience. Obviously, I guess it's meant to be played over and over again, either for like high scores or they try to add some other things in there for a replay factor and all that. Mm-hmm.
But like you can beat the game in like an hour, maybe less. It's not that long of an experience, especially when you're like considering games. But I don't know, like I'm the type of person that when I listen to certain albums or something, I like to turn up the volume as high as I can stand it, and then just feel like I'm being transported somewhere else. Like I don't want to be here right now.
Right.
Let me just put on this music and go somewhere else. And that's kind of what Rez is just, we're gonna play these EDM songs or whatever, and then everything is like kind of like pulsating, and everything that you do when you lock onto targets, because it's kind of like an on-rail shooter, everything has like a musical sound to it, and then it's just a fucking weird experience, like combining the visuals and the gameplay with the music, and not just like everything you do in that game adds to the soundtrack in a way. And it's just fucking cool, just like going around on this. It's, I don't know, I haven't done these kinds of things, but I imagine it's what like a good acid trip would be, or something, because it's just like you're just going down this like wireframe world, and you're supposedly in this computer thing, like you're hacking the net or something, and yeah, it's just this fucking trippy visual ride, and the music is a huge factor, and it's like, again, like playing that first area is just that fucking goosebumps every single time. I was like, fuck, this is insane. But yeah, it's I don't know, it just for as a musical, like an audio visual experience, fucking Rez is amazing, and it still holds up to this day, obviously. But to talk about the new thing, Area X. Area X is just essentially just another extra level for Rez, but you can definitely tell it was made in 2016 or whatever, because like the original Rez levels, you can tell like they're kind of dated in the way like the art style is and everything, but Area X is completely new, and you can tell pretty much by looking at it. It looks and feels more, or a lot different than the original Rez levels. Whereas the original Rez, everything was kind of all wireframes and simple colors and things like that. Area X is more like pure particle effects and things. There are shapes made out of just bunch like little pieces of light, and it's way different. And whereas in the original Rez you didn't have much movement options, in Area X they make it so you can kind of accelerate and brake and even reverse from where you are, so you're not just flying around this invisible course like you were before. You have some kind of control as to where you're going, and it seems like you can also look around like completely 360 at any time, which I think only really comes into play in like certain, like in like maybe one boss battle. But I think my biggest thing against Area X is that I was hoping for more. I wanted like a larger experience, because Area X is basically just one level of Rez, and that's it, and that's the only like new thing. But I wish they had kind of made a new
put more
Rez.
into it.
Yeah, or just like more levels, or make it a much longer experience or something. It was
or make the levels different somehow. You know. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, I mean, according to the achievements, apparently there are like different boss battles or different forms of the final boss, but I saw two of them. They're basically the same. Like one has butterflies and the other has like doves or something. But that's like the only difference. All the enemy types and everything else are the same, and the fight is actually pretty much the same. But yeah, at its core, it's pretty much just the same. You know, hold the button to highlight enemies and paint the targets, and then let go to fire at the targets. But yeah, Area X is a fantastic like Rez level, but it's just that, it's just a Rez level, and I was kind of hoping for more. I was kind of hoping that they would kind of expand the Rezness and have like a full on, like, I don't know, Rez sequel maybe. But hopefully in the future. I don't know what Mizuguchi is doing anymore. He kind of left the games industry for a little bit, and he came back to re-release this Rez Infinite thing, and now I'm kind of curious what he does next. But yeah, fucking Rez is still great. Again, very short experience, but again, if you're the type of person like me that likes to just like get transported listening to music, then you might want to check out some Rez.
Nice,
because it's fucking dope.
It's kind of a little off topic, but have you ever messed with the sub pack or have heard of the sub pack?
Sub pack?
Yeah,
I don't think so.
It's basically it's like a backpack, but not really. It's not as thick as one, and you strap it on you, and basically it feeds vibration from whatever you're playing or watching or whatever. So if you were to wear a sub pack, and a sub pack is like legit, like I've watched movies with that thing, and I've like had a whole new appreciation for like that said movie. So if you were to strap that on and play Rez, that might put that, and have VR at the same time. What?
Yeah.
That might be on another level.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping that they would like release that synesthesia suit that they were showing off with all the fucking vibrators and shit on it. Then it kind of pulsed in time with the music. I would love to kind of strap on something like that, but the sub pack may fill in that void. I don't know.
It might, because the sub pack is actually it's pretty legit. Like I thought it was just like, come on, like really. I think it sounds and looks kind of corny, but then when you actually use one, I'm like, oh my god. Like so for a game like Rez, I think that would be like really cool. Like to have like that would be like almost essential with that kind of game. Like it's just like a sensory overload, you know? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, man.
That sounds perfect. Just like I want to feel the music throughout my entire body.
And the sub pack will do that for you. Like like even if you're just like listening to just music, it just it feeds the vibration with the bass, and it's like, man, it's so good. And you can like turn it up, tone it down, whatever, but it's awesome. It's awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, you should definitely try that. If you're really into the Rez thing, I think I suggest at least trying it out and seeing if that's probably something you want to add to that experience.
Yeah. I kind of want to see if I want to do VR first. I don't know. I just want to have it fill my world of view.
Yeah.
It's just all Rez, because goddamn. I found myself regularly like continuing to turn up the music as I was playing the game. I was like, more. I need more.
Nice. Yeah. Nice. That's good. Fucking Rez is pretty tight.
It is. It still is. It's so fucking good. And the PC version seems like super solid too. Like I was able to put it up all the way at the settings and shit, and still like 60 frames and everything.
Cool.
They did good. And now I apparently have the collector's edition audio cassette version of the soundtrack coming to my house.
What?
Because that's a thing they did too. Like, okay.
Wow. That's crazy. Like they're releasing like soundtracks on vinyl now, and and now it's cassettes. Okay,
I guess so. Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's cool.
They found some factory, I guess, out there still making audio cassettes. And
Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm. Rez is too cool, but let's. How about we keep this? I don't know.
Sega train rolling.
This impromptu Sega train going.
So it's no secret that I've been looking forward to Sonic Mania forever. Ever since they announced it. I think they announced it early last year. And I finally got my hands on it. It came out, well, technically it came out today as we record, but I had my hands on it at midnight. So, yo, Alex.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what's up?
Yo, Alex.
Yeah.
I mean, not for nothing. I know Sega seems to have lost their way. And this game is pretty much a fan-made game that's licensed by Sega.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, Alex, they did it, man. They fucking did it. They fucking, this game is sublime. Like, sublime. Now.
Okay.
God, this game is so good. Okay. So Sonic Mania is basically like a love letter to the old 16-bit Sonic games, right? So this game has thrown so many different things into the mix. It's just like, whoa, like I can't believe the amount of like thought that went into a lot of the things, like the stages and the level design. I also have to say is like top-notch level design for a Sonic game. Like, what were they thinking? This is like amazing stuff. So, okay, basically the way the game is that they have some of the old zones or old stages, but they're remixed, and they also have like original stages like for this game. So, and they kind of put them all together. So the initial story with this game is that Robotnik or Eggman is back, and he gets this device from a robot version of himself, and this robot version of himself creates like this sort of cloud. And when this cloud disperses over Mobius, which is the planet that they're on, the cloud disperses, and it basically kind of like mixes and matches elements of like the topography of the world, I guess you could say, and therefore resulting in like the stages being like different from how you originally know them, at least the stages that you've been on already. So the coolest thing about this game, and I have to say it's the level design. All the levels are a lot larger than you remember. And that also goes to say for the newer stages as well. The thing about the levels is that, okay, so let's say you have Chemical Plant Zone Act 1, right? Mm-hmm. So it feels more or less the same as Chemical Plant Zone Act 1 from Sonic 2. But there are some slight changes, like they'll mix in elements from like Labyrinth Zone, for example, for some of the underwater parts. And they'll also like put in enemies from like Sonic 3. Like some of Sonic 3's enemies will be in the stage as well. And so, but the stage still doesn't like it doesn't stray too far from being a lot like Chemical Plant Zone Act 1 from Sonic 2, but it also feels like it's its own in a way. So then, now this is with every single stage. Now when you go to Chemical Plant Zone Act 2, Chemical Plant Zone Act 2 is like a completely different like like level. Like, so one of the cool things about Chemical Plant Zone Act 2 in this game, for example, is that the water, now everybody hated the water in that zone in particular because it was problematic. Like there wasn't a whole lot going on underwater in that part. So
it's where you go to die.
Pretty much. You don't stay in the water for very long because you die in the water there. So the thing is, though, now there's this kind of like device that is spread throughout Act 2 that turns the water into a different type of that changes the texture of the water. So instead of the water being like water, the water turns into like rubber. And it's like it basically now you can like bounce along the surface of the water and use that to maintain your speed through the level. And that's just like one of the many, many different changes. Now, this Chemical Plant Zone Act 2 also, it does not feel like Chemical Plant Zone Act 2 from Sonic 2 at all. It is completely different, but it looks the same. And the music is the same. I'll get to the music. God damn it.
Like the tile set is pretty much the same?
Yeah, it's pretty much the same. And, Chemical Plant Zone was like a very fast stage. Like, it was a stage that, you just go forward and like let the stage take over. And that's there too. But again, the stage is larger and, there are different types of Sonic players. So there's like the more exploratory Sonic player that would probably want to like explore like the different paths, and there are many of those in these types of levels because they're so big. There's so many different ways to go, especially like with Knuckles, and with Sonic and Tails, and so, I gotta say, the level design for like even for Green Hill Zone, Act 1 and 2 is amazing. Like. I am so impressed by this level design. I'm like, wow. Like I was wowed by this. Like every time like every time I've gotten to a new level and it was a classic level but remixed, I just had a fucking smile on my face the whole time. Because not only was I like enjoying playing through like a classic level again, but they just made it its own. They made it very different from the original, and it's so good, man. It's so good. God damn it. So the other thing I'm going to talk about are the bosses. Bravo. The bosses are so awesome. Like even the Act 1 bosses are like, they're so different. Like they're so like, they like basically each boss has their own gimmick that you have to do in order to like beat them legitimately. So some of the gimmicks might be like, okay, they'll throw in like an old boss from an old Sonic game, but put them in a level that you're like, whoa, this does not belong here. Like one of the Act 1 bosses that I fought was the final boss from Sonic 1.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, this is an Act 1 boss? It was like, that was a big deal back then, So there are like some completely like new gimmicks that they throw in with these different bosses. It's so awesome. So, for example, one of the best ones that I've seen was actually the boss for Chemical Plant Zone. So, how is it that you have to play against Eggman in a game of Mean Bean Machine? as the boss.
Yes.
Isn't that amazing?
That's the best.
That is dope. That is like, I was just like, holy shit. And it's like legit. You're just sitting there playing against Eggman, playing Mean Bean Machine with him.
Oh my god.
And it's the same shit. Like, you know, if you get the 4 matches, then like the stone beans will come down and block your path or whatever. It was awesome. I was like, yo, this is amazing. So another cool boss that they had was so do you remember the boss from Hydro City Zone? The boss from Hydro City Zone from Sonic 3, where it was basically Eggman was up in his ship, and he had this like turbine that he would this turbine that he would spin, and it would create like a tornado, and he'd try to suck you into it. And so he could hit you with the blades. How is it that they had you switch places? Sonic and Tails or Knuckles or Sonic or Tails is in the machine, and you're basically trying to do the same thing to Eggman while he's swimming underwater.
Okay.
And I'm like, yo, this is so dope. Like, this is so amazing. I love like all the bosses have like these really, really, really cool like gimmicks that you have to like get around. Yo, so they have one of the old stages that they brought back was Stardust Speedway, which is from Sonic CD. Mm-hmm. And I think everybody knows Stardust Speedway because that's the stage where everybody's like, oh, the US music was better and then the Japanese music for only that one stage. And that was also the end of that stage is where you had to race the Sonic robot, right? So in this, you race the Sonic robot, but the gimmick with the Sonic robot is that at the halfway point, you get to a chamber, like this room, and then he is at the very top of the room, and he basically sends out like clones of himself, and you basically have to use those clones. Like if they jump, you have to like use those clones to kind of like play basketball and hit the top with the clones. So you basically have to like jump under when the clones jump. You have to like jump under it and like bounce it up into the chamber that the Sonic robot is in at the top. And I'm like, yo, I was just like, the bosses are like so cool, man. I'm like, this is amazing to me. I love this. Like, I love all of this. This is so good. So the bosses are awesome. The level design is amazing. And then I want to talk about the music. What? Oh my Lord. Yo, the music is so good. And I'm not even just talking about in general. I'm talking about the new stages. The new stage music is amazing. The new stages themselves are also no slouch. They're really good. Mm-hmm. But the remixes for the stages that you've played that you know, whoa, oh my goodness. Yo, when I saw, like, because you know how they introduced the act, like, you know, with the whole like splash screen and so on. Yeah. So when I saw Oil Ocean Zone, I'm like, no way. And I heard the music and I'm like, oh my God, this is going to be amazing. And Oil Ocean Zone is so awesome to play and to hear. And like, so put it this way, I was playing the game last night, right? And I was like, all right, I got to go to sleep soon because I got to go to work tomorrow and so on. So I played like, I think the order was Green Hill Zone, Chemical Plant Zone, and then it was an original stage. I think it was Press Garden Zone, which was the original stage. And then I'm like, all right, after this, I think I might call it. I think I might go to sleep. So I'm like, all right, let's just see what the next stage is though. The next stage, Flying Battery Zone. I'm like, gotta play this one. I'm like, gotta play this one. And then I'm like, all right, maybe after Flying Battery Zone, we'll see what happens. And then I think it was Mirage Saloon Zone, which was a really cool stage. And then the next stage was Stardust Speedway, and I'm like, fuck, gotta play that. And then I'm like, all right, now that's it. I gotta go to sleep now. It was like 2:30 in the morning. I'm like, I gotta go to sleep now. The next stage, Hydro City Zone. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, these are all like amazing stages. And so they had like one original stage, which was really cool. But then today when I was playing the game, I'm like, all right, what's after this stage? Because there are some of the bosses that offer some challenges. So I was dying a little bit. I was dying quite a bit more, but you know how it is with Sonic games. It's about repetition. Like you need to be able to just know how to navigate the stage and know what the bosses do. But then after I played that stage, then I'm like, all right, I think I got to go eat now. And then it's like oil ocean zone. I'm like, fucking shit, oil ocean zone. And I'm like, like the fucking nostalgia waves that hit me whenever I see these stages. And then after oil ocean zone, I'm like, all right, what's next? Like lava reef zone. I'm like, lava reef zone. Oh my God. And I'm like, yeah.
So each time one of these stages hits, it feels like the wave just gets bigger. Until,
seriously.
Like Frank is standing on the beach, and there's a fucking tsunami headed his way. He's just arms outstretched, like, yes,
take me,
hit me, hit me.
The time is now, for real though. Like it's so the waves, just the nostalgia waves, just hit me, man. Like I'm just like, oh my God. And the thing is, like, I just wanted to see how they remix the stages. Like so awesome. And so they have so just real quick about the special stages, right? So they have the special stages from Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles, like to collect the blue sphere. But when you get when you do those, I'm not sure how this works just yet because I've just been in the game. I've been playing it. But I think if you complete those stages, so basically those stages are the stages you access when you pass the lampposts and you have like 25 rings or more, the checkpoints. So those are those, right? And so when you complete those stages, and they're like the same stages from like Sonic 3, Sonic and Knuckles, and so on. So like the nostalgia again, I'm like, because I used to know how to do all of those stages by heart. Like I could do those with my eyes closed. So I'm like, oh man, it's so awesome to see these stages again. So when you finish those stages, there's this like coin that like comes to you instead of a Chaos Emerald, and I don't know what it is, but so if you happen to die and you run out of lives, right, I think those gray coins access like special moves that you can do. So like so I've gotten quite a few game overs, and when I got a game over, there was like this one thing that was just saying like this one like kind of flashing message saying like you've unlocked the ability from Sonic CD where you can like charge up your run and take off. And then it also said you've just unlocked the Insta Shield from Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles. I'm like, oh shit. I love the Insta Shield. And like you've unlocked this, you've unlocked competitive mode, you've unlocked all of this stuff. And I'm like, I'm not sure if it's just playing the game or it's the gray coins or a combination of both.
Right.
But then there's the Chaos Emerald special stages where basically it's the giant gold rings that are hidden in each stage.
Yeah.
And when you go in there, it's like it's very new. It's a very different thing. But basically you're on this like track and you have to like catch this machine that's carrying the Chaos Emerald. And so when you start out, you have to basically get these blue spheres that are along this track. And the blue spheres build up your speed so you can catch up to it. You can catch up to it a lot easier. And then there are rings, and rings increase your time, the time that you have in the stage. And so basically it's just like a combination of management, of meter management. Like, what do you need more of? Do you need more time or do you need more spheres? And all along the while, there are like obstacles in your way, like spikes and bombs, and there are gaps in the ground and so on. So you just basically have to kind of just navigate that. Mm-hmm. And you can't really catch the machine until you build up like enough speed. So I think you can get, I've gotten up to Mach 3. That's the highest I've gotten, but that's all I've really needed to catch the thing with the Chaos Emeralds. But yeah, so that's like kind of like different. It's a little jarring, but it's, I just want to get all the Chaos Emeralds and see like the real ending, the true ending. So yeah, man. Yo, Sonic Mania. It's so good. It's so good. It's like a dream come true. I'm like, wow. I'm like, they fucking did it. Like, it's really just a straight love letter callback to old school Sonic. Like, this is amazing. Like, this is amazing. Like, yo, I'm not even like being real descriptive of like some of the things. Like, yo, Hydro City Zone Act 1, man, like the boss for that stage, and then the way they transition into Act 2 is like, what? Craziness. Like, where do they think of this stuff? This is awesome. Oh, man. I love that game.
That's good, man. It feels like it's well overdue.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it is. And you can bitch your ass as soon as we're done here. I'm going right back to playing it.
I know the nostalgia is strong with this game, but do you think they maybe should have thrown in more newer original levels?
It's a good question, because it's definitely skewed in favor of the older levels.
It feels like it's like almost leaning almost too hard on the nostalgia factor. But I think that's a lot of what people want too. On the side of that coin. It's a game. It's basically a game made by Sonic fans for Sonic fans. So that's not really an issue. Like, they know their audience. Like, they know who they want to buy this game. Yeah. You know, so they may be leaning on the nostalgia factor, but that's not a bad thing, because they'll still have people buying this game. Now, as someone who maybe isn't as like big of a fan of Sonic, I think as a game, it's okay. Like, it's just all right, because there might be things about it that you might not appreciate, because like Sonic platforming has never been really like precise. Yeah. You know, it's always been like a little off, a little weird, and it's always just about the speed and flat surfaces and ramps to build up speed and so on. But it breaks up the tempo of the game a little bit.
Right.
Yeah, so that's kind of what it's meant to do, but it doesn't really do a great job of the platforming.
Right. Just because it seems like the platforming just gets in the way. Yeah. You know, but it essentially it is what it is. That's the type of game that it is, but at the same time, I think that the elements that they threw in to the game, and just like, it's going to sound corny as hell, but like the love that they put into this game, you know, I think that more than makes up for it, because it seems like it's a little like too on the nose, you know, to a casual player of this game. Like, it's really like it's like a love letter, but warts and all, you know, like it's too much like the original games, you know, like it's just like they basically wanted to just recreate the nostalgia and the feeling and the technical aspects of the original game. You know, like it was to the point where I was fighting a boss. I think I was fighting the Green Hill Zone Act 2 boss, which was the Death Egg of all things from fucking the last boss from Sonic 2. That was the first boss you fight. So so I fought the Death Egg, and the funny thing is, I don't know if you've ever encountered this before, but there was a glitch in, I think this happened a lot to me in Casino Night Zone in Sonic 2. Where just before I was about to get to the boss, there was this glitch where Sonic would remain in a ball, and I wouldn't be able to stand up, and I could move left and right and jump, but I couldn't like stand up, and I couldn't stay still. And Sonic would remain in a ball, and this happened, but with Tails, like, you know, because you could play as Sonic and Tails if you want to, and it happened with Tails when I was fighting the boss. I'm like, what?
In Sonic Mania?
And I'm like, is that a callback to that glitch? Because I remember that glitch very well. It happened to me a lot. And that they put that there. And I'm like, but it's a game that was made in 2016, 2015 even. And I think they would have figured that out. But I don't know. Maybe, like I said, it's like that's like one of the things where it's like, oh, it's a little too on the nose. But but I will say that they did a really good job in like recreating the feel of the old Sonic games, and I think that's what they're going for. Like, they just want you to feel like how you did when you first played Sonic back in the day. You know, like all the old games, and I think that's what they're going for. So nostalgia, bring it on. Bring it on, because it's still like it's still an okay game casually, but I think it's stellar because I think they accomplished what they set out to do. And the feelings I'm getting, it's like all bubbling up inside. Like, I'm like, oh my God, like, I can't believe this is happening. Like, Sonic's back, yo. Like, in my eyes, like, this is amazing to me. But
yeah, and it's not like they're copying, pasting levels over or anything like that. But
no,
it seems cool to that point of them trying to make them or make you feel like you did when you played Sonic the first time.
I think that's essentially what they were going for.
Yeah, because they're using the aesthetics of the level, but then rearranging everything in a way that is brand new, and that helps evoke those feelings again, and that's kind of cool.
Yeah, like there were several times when I was playing this game where I literally verbally said "whoa" or "wow." Like there are these sequences. I forget which stage it's in. It's in one of the newest stages, but basically there is this sequence where they basically phase two levels together. It's like amazing. So like actually it was in Flying Battery Zone. So it wasn't in a new stage. Flying Battery Zone. So there's like there's this portion in Act 2 where you like go through these doors, like from inside the ship, the airship, and all of a sudden you're in Wing Fortress Zone from Sonic 2. And then you can basically shift back and forth between the stages. It's like it's crazy how they do that. And they also do something similar with Metallic Madness Zone, which is, I think that was from Sonic CD as well. I'm really kicking myself for forgetting if that was in Sonic CD. I think it was.
It might be because I haven't played that one.
Okay. But Metallic Madness Zone, they do something similar where they basically like phase you in and out of like different parts of the stage. Like you basically go through this like purple portal, and then when you come out of the other side, you're in like a completely different part of a level. Okay. And you have to basically like find your way like a maze. And the cool thing, another really, really, really fucking cool thing about Metallic Madness is that they basically make you play with the foreground and the background. So you can. So there are these devices. That are like springs that can basically shoot you to the background, like to the far background, or bring you to the foreground. And it's like so cool, man. Like there's so many fucking cool things. It's like every act is like this. Every act has its own gimmick. The bosses have their own gimmick, and it's just like it's so good, man. But yeah, I think like they wanted that nostalgia feeling and that nostalgia factor, but they also gave it like it wasn't just a fresh coat of paint. They also like completely. I wouldn't say completely, but the Act 2s are like all overhauled, like all of them. But the Act 1s are more like, hey, remember this? And then, oh, maybe this wasn't there before, or oh, this is a little different. This is a little different, right? When you go to Act 2, you're like, all right, take what you knew from Act 1 and now apply it to this very much new sort of level within the same level that you thought you knew. And it's like, that's a really cool thing. And I appreciate that. You know, it just feels new. It does. Right. But, and the music is so fucking good. Oh my God.
Is it all like remixes for like
all remixes stages? Okay. All remixes for the older stages, and the new stages have their own new themes, which are also really awesome.
Okay.
I'm humming the whole time while I'm playing this game. Like it's amazing. You know, like Lava Reef Zone, Oil Ocean Zone. God, it's so good. It's so fucking good. God. This game is awesome. But this is coming from a bona fide Sonic fan. As a casual person, maybe if you liked Sonic, then you'd really appreciate the game. If you don't really like Sonic, you might not like the game. It might be like a 1 out of 10 for you, you know? Mm-hmm. But yeah, man.
Yeah, I look forward to playing myself because I enjoyed some 16-bit Sonic.
Yeah, and if you did then you'll enjoy this a lot. And especially if you know Sonic, like those games like intimately, you're going to just like freak out at all like the callbacks and like all like different things that they've put in there. Man, it's so good.
That's dope.
Yeah, man. Fucking awesome.
Took them like 20 years, but they made another good Sonic game.
I know. I know. Oh my God. But yeah, man, like, and I haven't even played, like, I want to like have a file with Sonic and Tails and just Sonic and just Tails and Knuckles. And I haven't even explored Knuckles' paths yet. And then there's the Chaos Emerald files, and I'm gonna do some work with this game.
I saw that you could do Knuckles and Knuckles.
Yeah, you can. I think that's an unlock.
Okay.
I think you have to beat the game. I'm not sure once or twice or something, or with Knuckles.
Okay.
But yeah, I just want them to do like Knuckles, Sonic, and Tails. Like that's what I want. You know, but it wouldn't make sense. Yeah,
I think the and Knuckles mode can attach Knuckles to any like existing character, and Sonic and Tails is technically a character that you can play as. So maybe you can bolt on Knuckles to that duo there.
I would like to a lot. Because I just want, it would be cool to just have the three of them like on the screen. Because I was a little scared at first because everything I kept seeing for this game, I'm like, I just saw like just Sonic or just Tails, and I'm like, so that when I was at E3, I'm like, hey, listen, I got a question. I asked like the guy at the booth, I'm like, listen, I got a question. Can you play a Sonic and Tails? In this game? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, thank God. I'm like, no, literally no one answered my question. No like news sites answered my question about it or whatever. So I'm like, wow, thank God. Like that's my go-to. Like I just like seeing the both of them interact on the screen. It's crazy. And you can also for people who care, you can also do 2-player with Sonic and Tails. So you can basically drop in and out as Tails whenever you want. So
nice.
Yeah. So good. Oh my God. Oh my God. Alex, I'm serious. This game is so fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Should have come out in like 96 or something, but
it should have been. It should have been like a legit sequel, but I mean, I understand it took like 20 plus years for them to like kind of be like, all right, let's remix everything and kind of like bring Sonic back. So I'm hoping that they come out with some sort of sequel, and then hopefully we'll see more new stages.
Right.
You know, because the new stages are pretty dope too, man. Like the new stages are no slouch. Like Press Garden, Mirage Saloon, Studiopolis, like those games, those levels are pretty awesome.
Nice.
But that just goes, the level design in the game in general is top notch stuff. But,
nice.
But yeah, okay, I'm done. I'm done talking about this game. It's good. Play it. It's so cheap, man. It's only $20, man. Just go out and get it.
Okay.
It's awesome.
I just have to decide what platform to play it on.
Yeah, it's like on everything. So well, the PC version the PC version is being delayed until the 29th of this month. Yeah. So that's a bummer, but you know, it's just a couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
But all right. So let's move on into headlines. And before we do that, you should go to InnerCityGeeks.com and follow along with us. And Alex is going to go ahead and take us through what's going on this week. So what you got?
So, and other surprising things that happened in the past week, No Man's Sky.
What?
I know that's a game that came out. Yeah, they updated the game with a brand new like content patch. And they put out this whole statement saying like this marks like the 1 year mark since No Man's Sky released, and now they put out this thing called Atlas Rises, which is an update to existing No Man's Sky. It's not like an expansion pack that you have to purchase or anything. So if you still have your copy of No Man's Sky, you just have to update it, and then you'll get all this crazy stuff. But yeah, it's kind of like a rework of the game, and they're trying to do good to the people that bought into No Man's Sky and kind of make it what I guess other people wanted it to be, maybe what their original vision for it is. I'm not sure exactly where that line is, but basically, yeah, they kind of added a story mode with this Atlas Rises update, and I think they're saying something like there's like 30 hours of story now. And yeah, there's a whole bunch. There's like a whole list of patch notes. Like there are portals now, so that now that you can have other players directly go to like your base or your starship or things like that. And there's some sort of like multiplayer now, so you can actually meet up with other people in this gigantic universe that they created. Yeah, there's just a whole like just crazy list of updates to the game, and yeah, it's crazy, but. They were kind of, I guess, in the background, in quiet, because they kind of been radio silent, it feels like, for a bit, and they finally put out something on this game, but I haven't myself checked it out, but I did try to boot it up and try to go to a planet, but I got intercepted by some bad guys and they blew up my ship.
Oh my god!
Because I couldn't remember how to go into the inventory and then like repair my ship as I'm like fighting with them and shit. And I was like, God damn it! But yeah, there's like when I booted up my existing save, it kind of asked me like, oh hey, do you want? I forget how it was worded in the game, but it's basically saying like, hey, do you want to experience a story mode? Do you want a guided experience? And that's kind of what the game does. But yeah, I was hearing some stuff like they added in like a lot of quests so that when you go on a planet, you have some specific thing to do, like some side quest, like hunt this animal or maybe get a sample of this plant or something like that. So
finally, God, because I honestly think it's something that this game needed. It needed a little bit of direction.
Yeah, and there are plenty of people that are out there that don't mind not having any like pointers or any directions of what to do specifically.
Right.
But I think for a lot of other people out there, they were like going into the game not knowing and like, what do I do? What's the point of this game? And at least for those people, at least now they have something if they want to go back into the world of No Man's Sky. But I don't know, man. What's your temperature on this news?
Well, it's a long time. It's a long time coming. I think that they should have pretty much done this day one, to kind of like at least flesh the game out a little bit more because you have your audience of explorers, but I think more of your audience, like more of a casual audience, would be the type that would expect like a gameplay experience from it, like, with something with direction and structure and like, go here's a story for you. Giving you a reason motivating you to move forward with like some compelling reason having to do with the plot, something, but there was nothing. And that turned a lot of people off. And there was that whole, remember that whole debacle where it's like people were like returning their games on Steam and shit like that. So, returning their games full price at GameStop or whatever. So this is something I think they should have done day one, but I don't know. I think it's honestly too little too late, because the game, how old is it now? Is it a year old now?
It's a year. Yep, a year and change.
It's a year old now. I think it's too little too late, but hopefully they could still grab a lot of people with this update, people who are still faithful. But I have a feeling that the only people that are still around are the people that stuck with it from the beginning, and those are the explorers, and they probably don't really care about this.
Yeah. I mean, like, also never say never. Like, maybe this game eventually does find its audience, or maybe it already has. Who knows? But
hopefully.
Yeah, I don't know. It was, again, very unexpected.
Yeah, but it's cool.
Yeah. And I think they also added, like, some updates to the world generation where there's, like, now even more, like, different biomes that you can see in the game. So you'll see even, like, crazier looking planets and things like that. So more stuff to explore, more stuff to do. So that's cool.
Cool.
In other news this week, Nintendo, they're bringing back yet again the Nintendo World Championships.
Oh boy.
They kind of did this back in 2015 at E3, but now they're doing it kind of across the nation. And with it, they're bringing a demo of the new Super Mario Odyssey game that's coming out later this year. So the tournament is going to be taking place at Best Buy stores across the country. I think they're starting August 19th in New York City and San Jose, California. There will be additional rounds throughout August and September. Those will take place in Chicago, Los Angeles, Minneapolis, Dallas, Seattle, and Miami. And at least for these first qualifier matches, you're going to have to compete in Mario Kart 7, which I was not expecting.
Yeah, that's so weird. I'm like, why not Mario Kart 8? Like, but Mario Kart 7, I don't know. Maybe is it just to give like some sort of advantage of a game that not a lot of people play anymore? I don't know. Like,
or maybe they have just more Wiis in stock to support that. I have no idea.
That's weird. Mario Kart 8, it's like better. Well, Mario Kart 7 is no slouch. It's still a really good Mario Kart, but Mario Kart 8, like, what? I mean, obviously, it's on the Switch. You want to promote the Switch, don't you?
Yeah. So. Well, I guess that's what Super Mario Odyssey is there for. So when you go to these qualifying events at the Best Buys, they will have demo kiosks with a demo of Super Mario Odyssey.
Cool.
So you can check that out. And there's they go into details as to what exactly the competition is like you have to do a time trial in a specific course using a specific character and a specific card. That's all there in the show notes. But the actual full-on championships, once they resolve down to the core players, that will take place in New York City on October 7th. I don't know if that's something you can pay to go to or not. I don't have any details here, but that would be kind of cool if they make it like a huge fucking like esports like event.
Yeah, I mean, definitely even more so now than it was in 2015. In 2015, I think you could spectate, but I think now they might make it a bigger thing.
Yeah, I would hope so. Because like you don't just throw around that Nintendo World Championship name around like
I know.
And then if you do choose to attend one of those qualifying events, you get like extra rewards too. Like you can get if you're a My Nintendo reward member or whatever, you can go to the event, show them like a QR code that you're logged in, and you get some extra points there for your account. But yeah, Nintendo's, I don't know, that's my main thing is like, do they make this a bigger event? Do they kind of bring this back formally and have like a yearly thing about this?
Yeah, I'm not even sure why they do it biannually, but it's still something that they could definitely market. If they market really well, they can make it a much bigger thing.
Yeah, I think the 2015 thing was just like a one-off thing, and now they're opening it up more, and so maybe that will lead to other things, but who knows?
Yeah.
Speaking of competition, the International was happening, I think last week, the big Dota tournament sponsored by Valve, and they're in the fucking key arena, is selling out stadiums, and it's craziness. But Dota happened, and as part of some exhibition during the International, this company called OpenAI, which I believe has the fingerprints of one Elon Musk on, they were showing off their AI technology and had their AI face off 1v1 against one of the top Dota players. And the AI beat his ass.
Yeah, I don't know why. I'm just thinking of Terminator 2. Thinking of Skynet.
Yeah.
August 29th, 1997, Skynet goes active.
Which is hilarious because like Elon Musk himself has been like very vocal about like, hey, we should put in like regulations on AI because AI is going to kill us.
Yeah. It's like fucking Amiibo. Like Amiibo for Smash Brothers and stuff. Like they destroy you. Mm-hmm. So this is like, this is like a different genre altogether.
Yeah. But yeah, this article actually goes into very good detail about like the play-by-play and the moment-to-moment gameplay and how the whole thing went down. I don't know if it was supposed to be like a 1-2 thing, but I think they face off twice, but the AI won twice in a row against this guy, even though he tried to change his tactics in the second round. But yeah, it was
just adapt.
Yeah, the AI it learned him good, but yeah, it's a kind of interesting read too because they kind of go into detail as to how they kind of trained the AI. I guess it was, I don't know if, I'm assuming they had to go on and play live like Dota matches online and play with people of its skill level and kind of learn just purely by playing with like minimal like coaching to the AI.
Mm-hmm.
So it's they're going to beat us all, Frank. All the robots and the computers are going to beat us into submission.
It's the war against machines.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so thinking Terminator 2 right now. God damn it.
Yeah, and then, of course, the OpenAI guys, they ended the event, that little exhibition, by saying, like, hey, we're also working on 5 versus 5, or like a team of 5 versus like a full team of 5 actual Dota players against their purely AI team. So they're going to have that ready by next year, they say. So that'll be one to watch.
Just unplug it. Just unplug it now. Like, just stop it. Just
burn it.
Erase everything.
Burn it. Hyperloop it to the sun.
Yeah, just stop it. Stop now before it goes too far.
Yeah. And in lighter news, Blizzard has been going with this, I guess, this back and forth with the BattleNet name. They it felt like months ago they like said, hey, we're going to get rid of the BattleNet name for their desktop client and just call it the Blizzard app because that is less confusing than calling it BattleNet because what's BattleNet? And now they backpedaled and now it's going to be called Blizzard BattleNet because all the fans, voiced their opinions and they liked Battle.net so much and it's so ingrained with the identity of Blizzard. So now it's Battle.net again, which is so weird. It's such like a minor thing.
I think they're having trouble with their brand management department right now. Like they're really indecisive and unsure of what to name just one thing.
Like again, it didn't even need to happen to begin with. Like, the Blizzard brand by itself is just so fucking strong.
Yeah,
it is like one of the PC brands, and It was a whole weird thing when they announced it at first. It's not going to be called Battle.net, and it was funny because I think a few weeks after that they had the whole Destiny 2 reveal event, and they announced that Destiny 2 is going to be on the Blizzard app, but all the executives from Activision and Blizzard still called it Battle.net client. I'm like, okay, you guys obviously didn't get the memo that you're not calling it Battle.net anymore. But
someone's not communicating. Something's not happening.
Even though you told the whole world it's not called Battle, it's just fucking silly. So yeah, they're still called Battle.net. Nothing to worry about there.
All right. I just hope next week it'll be like, so guys, we're gonna have to backtrack, and they're just calling it the Blizzard app again.
That would just be silly at that point. This is the line. I think they can't go back again.
They could do whatever they want,
I guess.
So hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully they made up their minds.
Yeah, but I don't know. With all that Blizzard money, they can do whatever the fuck they want, apparently. So it's all good. But that will actually do it for all the news and headlines for the week.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And so now we're going to go into new and upcoming releases, and Alex is going to continue to talk about what we can look forward to that's come out already this week.
Yeah, and what will come out this week. Because we've got a bunch of stuff this week for the week of August 15th. First up, we've got Agents of Mayhem. Is out now for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. The spiritual successor to the Saints Row games.
Huh.
Made by Volition. And actually, I think as part of some crazy lore, actually still in the Saints Row universe somehow, some way. Saints Row is weird, and I assume Agents of Mayhem is no less weird. Also out this week, of course, we've talked about it so much, Sonic Mania.
Yeah.
Out now for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and the Nintendo Switch.
It's unfortunate. Some of our mutual friends have they have to wait till Thursday to get theirs. And I'm
why?
Oh my God. Because Amazon.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not the only one, because it feels like the past couple things I've ordered from Amazon just come in hey, you're going to get release date delivery, and days later. Nothing.
Yeah. Days later, Amazon. I mean, Amazon is the best though. Amazon, they pull through for you. 99% of the time, they're there for you.
I don't know.
Amazon, they're the best. They're the best.
Every day that percentage is going down. But whatever.
It's just sponsor.
They don't sponsor us. We just have an affiliate link. That's not a sponsorship.
Yeah, but but Amazon, they're so a lot of people that I know that have pre-ordered the game from Amazon said that their stuff's not going to get here till Thursday. Well, basically today, as you hear this. So it's just damn. That's the game has been out for 2 whole days.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Amazon is lying. I guarantee it.
Yeah, but anyway.
Yes. Also out this week, Nidhogg 2 for the PlayStation 4. I will be all over some Nidhogg 2.
Interesting. I got some heavy hitter releases.
I know, right? Also out this week, Undertale making its console debut on PlayStation 4 and the Vita.
Is that cross-buy?
That I am not sure. You'd have to double check, because some games aren't cross-buy, some games are. It seems weird which ones are and which one aren't. It's just, I guess, up to the publisher what they want to do. But look into that to double check.
Okay.
We also got StarCraft Remastered this week on PC. If you somehow still want to play the original StarCraft, you can still get the original version of StarCraft for free via the Blizzard app. You might have to do some digging there, but Otherwise, it's just you won't get like the 4K, upgrade to StarCraft that is the remastered version, but you can still get the original like EXE and all that stuff from Blizzard if you want it for free. We also got this week, Cities Skylines finally came out for PlayStation 4. Feels like it's been out on every other thing so far, but if you like some SimCity style gameplay, Cities Skylines is very good in that regard. Also out this week is Dark Mystery for the PlayStation 4, Observer for PS4, Xbox One, and PC, Defenders of Ekron for PS4 and PC, Elios's Hunt for PS4, Ken Follett's The Pillars of the Earth Book 1 for PS4, Xbox One, and PC, Matterfall out for PlayStation 4, Minecraft Story Mode Season 2, Episode 2 is now out for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. And I guess this will like maybe tie off our little Sega tribute this week. Night Trap 25th Anniversary Edition is out for PlayStation 4 and PC. Who decided to do that? What's wrong with you?
I don't know.
We also got Paranormal Activity: The Lost Souls for PlayStation VR, Sudden Strike 4 for the PlayStation 4, The Incredible Adventures of Van Helsing 2 for PS4, Tokyo 42 for PS4, and Circuit Breakers for the Xbox One. And then we've also got a pair of Friday releases coming out this week. First one is Thumper, coming out to the Xbox One. Get your rhythm violence on.
Yeah.
And Zero Time Dilemma for the PlayStation 4. And that will wrap up our new releases and everything for the week.
Cool. So that means we are done with this episode. So before we officially go, we would like you to visit innercitygeeks.com if you have not done so already, because that's where we are and where we have a bunch of stuff regarding everything geek. You can view our episodes and or subscribe to our YouTube channel, and that channel is Good Games, and we have some older episodes on there as well, so you can just go ahead and listen, subscribe, and enjoy. You can also listen to us on iTunes, where you can leave us a review. It's the best thing that you can do for us. Just let us know what you think of the show, how we're doing, and that would be greatly appreciated either way. You can basically also listen to us where all podcasts are available to be listened to. And I also want to encourage everyone to click on that Amazon banner on the right-hand side of the innercitygeeks.com page. When you do that, it'll take you to Amazon and go buy whatever it is that you were going to buy. And when you do that, a little bit of that will come back towards us, so we can provide more show and more content just for you. You can reach us on all the social media outlets, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, mainly at innercitygeeks. The Twitter for this show is at goodgamepodcast. And you can also email us at goodgamespodcast@gmail.com. And we actually check our emails and read them and respond to them. So don't be afraid. Reach out and let us know it's good. So that's going to do it for this one. I'm going to go and play Sonic. And
don't lie, you've been playing this whole episode.
Probably. So probably was that what happened? So we're gonna say goodbye, and in leaving, as always, we say good games, everybody.
Good games.